So while trying to navigate my unorganized life and finish a video I wanted out a month ago, Sonic Mania Plus dropped on mobile today, so guess I gotta drop everything and talk about that. So as we all know, Sonic Mania is the evolution of the remasters of Sonic CD 1 and 2 that were made for mobile, and this was a full-on original game using its engine on consoles only, and about 7-something years later, it's been dropped on mobile officially through Netflix. Yeah, the mobile version of the Netflix app has been experimenting with mobile gaming. Previously, Netflix on consoles or hardware capable of running it could play specific games as if they were shows, like Minecraft Story Mode. Do you not know about this? Well, now you do. Presently, the mobile Netflix app features Netflix versions of many mobile games, some just because, and others because they are tied to a Netflix exclusive show as a tie-in. Not long ago, the Netflix original animated series Sonic Prime was made available, and to tie in, Netflix got its own version of Sonic Dash with Sonic Prime themed stages and characters. Now this is funny to me. These games are tied to Netflix, but they send you to the App Store where you can already find them by searching, so we just have regular Sonic Dash and Sonic Prime Dash, essentially the same game, sitting side by side. But I guess that promotional tie-in wasn't enough, even though Sonic Prime's final season ended a couple months ago, because they got the source code of Sonic Mania Plus and handed it off to a small third-party developer and said, okay, put this on this platform and just get it done by tomorrow. Because that went well last time! A couple months ago, people on Twitter started reporting that this port had shadow dropped exclusively in the Philippines? And from the videos we've seen, it looked rather poorly optimized. The Twitter account RDSK Facts, who always share interesting facts and tidbits about the Retro Engine Sonic games, shared this screenshot of the port's code, showing that the devs porting it seemed confused by the strings of code not understanding their functions. Did they not get help from the original Mania team? I mean, I know they've gone on to work on their own projects, but surely they would have been consulted, right? Then time passed, and we all forgot about this port until it dropped today officially. And now I'm writing a script about it. I'm not unfamiliar with playing Mania on mobile. Steam had a mobile app that lets you play PC games on your phones remotely through Wi-Fi with less than favourable results. Hey, I live in Australia. We aren't known for great or fast internet. Also, we got some fan-made homebrew ports of Mania on iOS and Android a while back too, since the game was entirely decompiled. But that was hardly the most interesting news, seeing as it was being ported to everything from the Wii U, 3DS, the original Wii, PSP, even the freaking Dreamcast. And at 60 FPS! There's something just beautiful about that. So anyway, let's check this out. I'm running this on iPhone 12. When you start up, it comes up with your Netflix users, and then it asks to make a gamer handle, and then the game starts. And it doesn't even take advantage of the phone's full aspect ratio. Hyperkinetic's logo has just been pushed to the side to make room for Lab 42, who I assume are the ones who were assigned to this port. And it looks like they already have Sonic Mania on their website under games they worked on. You can't click on any of these or get specifics on their involvement. What games here did they make? What games did they make ports for? I don't know, they don't say. Wait, isn't this fan art? Oh no. The title screen looks pretty good. Press any button is replaced with tap anywhere on screen. And waiting here starts the opening movie as normal, but it takes up more of the screen than before, but still not entirely. It's the full image, just squashed down. Also, I can see some sort of outline on the edges of the video. I don't know what that's about. The main menu is very simplified. The UI doesn't swipe across the screen like you'd expect with modern-day software. Just tap arrows and it snaps to the next option, but I don't see what was wrong with the original menu. It certainly looks usable on a touchscreen device. Oh wait, the original menu does work well for touchscreen because the Switch has a touchscreen. All the submenus and options work as you think they would. Mania Mode has a new touch icon that takes you to the game's options settings. So far, everything seems to be in check. We start the game up and, this is the touchscreen interface you went with. Why not reuse the icons from the previous mobile games? Heck, they may still be in Mania's files. And, why? You committed to keeping the aspect ratio 16:9, but your touch UI overlays the borders? Why would you do that? I know Mania is a 16:9 game, but it feels strange porting it to mobile and not utilizing the full screen like Sonic 1, 2, and CD do. And yes, doing so added some unintended pop-in, however Mania is capable at running any custom resolution through modding. You can access a 4:3 mode, and it looks great on CRTs, and PC players started using an aspect ratio for their ultra-wide monitors that still renders everything that would normally be off-screen, and the HUD seems to adapt fine. But who knows, maybe there's a reason they left it as is instead of extending the screen. There's a pause button here. Can I pause the cutscene? Oh, right. How dumb of me. Pause is actually the start button. Pressing start skips cutscenes, so why would I think it pauses? Also, once you've made a save file, a delete icon appears in the menu. Back to this cutscene and... Oof. There is some crunchiness in this audio. So right off the bat, the gameplay seems as smooth and fluid as it should be, and the touch controls are just as responsive as the other mobile games. No input delay, nothing seems out of the ordinary to me. Also, they moved Sonic's lives counter from the bottom of the screen to underscore time and rings. Actually, it doesn't look bad there. I went to test my PS4 controller, and amazingly, this port still has controller support! Yes! Yes! Thank you! And once you return to the menu, suddenly the old HUD appears. That's cool, and wait a minute, why is it showing me Xbox buttons? I'm using a PlayStation controller. Is that all it displays? You know, all the icons for all platforms' controllers are in the game's files for all versions of Mania, and on PC you can swap between them in real time. Keyboard, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and oh, I guess it doesn't. Okay, that's on me. Loading screens are slightly longer by about half a second. Playing Green Hill Act 1, things feel normal, but I keep getting that weird sense that something is off, but I just can't identify what. It's running full 60 FPS, there doesn't seem to be slowdown, I'm checking bits of footage frame by frame to look for jitter. The special stages I had concerns for because in all the homebrew ports, loading screens and 3D special stages seems to chug the most, but here it loads instantly in sync with the console version, and seems to play perfectly. Consider me impressed. After playing for a little bit, it seems in the time between being shadow dropped a couple months ago and now, they really did a lot of work optimizing what previously looked choppy and crashed frequently. Now, gameplay-wise, seems to be a rather decent port, and I can't seem to find anything wrong with it. Visuals look great, no lag or slowdown, just a little bit of crunchy audio here and there. Any bug I find seems to be present in the original game, other than Sonic walking backwards in Press Garden, which I wasn't recording. Loose Spheres doesn't give me a headache, so that's a plus over the Mega Drive version of Sonic 3. After playing for a while, with most of Mania mode seeming fine, I went to check Encore mode, and yep, everything seems in check. There's a new icon for swapping partners, and the 3D pinball bonus stage works fine, no lag. So, it wouldn't be a Retro Engine video if I didn't try to get all up in the debug menu. Normally on Sonic Mania, pressing up, up, down, down, up, up on the title screen unlocks debug early, but no directional inputs on the title screen. And no, tapping the Sega letters aren't gonna help us this time. So I connected my controller again and put those inputs in. It didn't make a ring sound like it normally does, but sure enough, debug mode is now available in options, and in the Switch version, you have to hold Y and start on no save mode to get the level select, and of course that's X on an Xbox controller and square on a PlayStation controller. But how do you do that on a touchscreen? Oh well, I'll try the controller input anyway and... Okay, maybe there's another way to do it. Just pause and exit and... I can't navigate down. Huh? Well, good thing it's also touchscreen. Oh hey, I didn't notice this icon from the Supersonic monitor here before. I guess that must be the level select. What? I'm sorry, what? What happened to my beautiful level select menu? It was already perfect! Everything on one screen! And you need to scroll down, level by level, with no icons, just spread out? Oh good. Character select and play sounds. Say, Sonic? You doing good? You look like you're missing some color there. Tap this and... Why? Just why this? You had to spread out all the level names, but here you can just place all the sound numbers across one screen? Why, you make no sense! Just leave it as it is. You're not reinventing the wheel here. Stop simplifying the UI. I swear, like, none of these re-releases know how to leave a good menu alone and replacing something good and functional with something new. That's arguably less convenient. Okay, Supersonic enabled, go to Green Hill. Wow, took you long enough to scroll up. Start, and I can't move. Touch inputs are gone. Good thing the controller is still paired. And my recording crashed, because why shouldn't it? Ugh, why is recording footage for iPhone such a pain? I keep running out of storage! Second time inputting the code, and there's the ring sound. Right back to Green Hill, and Sonic, why are you crouching? I'm not touching anything. Yes! 50 rings! Time to go Hey! Alright, trying again. We have touch controls back. And hey, there's a little spanner icon, which puts you in debug mode. And there's two more icons, a 1 and a 2, which seem to be a substitute for the X and Y buttons. 50 rings, there's the touch supersonic icon. Yeah! You know what we need? We need a flight code. Alright! Looks like the codes seem to be working fine. Let's try all Sonic abilities. Beautiful. Seriously, why wasn't this an unlockable? Unused parts of Hidden Palace still in Lava Refact 3, always worth a visit. Yeah, there's not much more I can say. Simply put, this is Sonic Mania Plus. For a mobile port of a console game, yeah, some creative liberties are taken, but they are odd ones that really didn't need to be made, as none of the user interface really needed to be changed, and the touch controls, while good for the most part, are buggy at times, especially if switching between them and a controller. The inconsistent aspect ratio is confusing with the touch controls, video playback, and the game itself not matching the phone's screens at all, or even each other. But for the game itself, it's just Sonic Mania Plus. The same game we've loved since 2017 with no compromises. Playing just as well as on PC and Switch, well, for the most part at least. And then of course, there's the elephant in the room. This is tied to Netflix. Yeah, it is strange and pretty random if you ask me, and while I've seen people complaining about needing a Netflix account to play this as a con, I honestly really don't. There is a very high chance that most people have at least one person living in their house that has an active Netflix subscription that everyone else in the household is taking advantage of to some degree, seeing how it's the most popular streaming service there is. And I don't see it as Sonic Mania for the cost of a Netflix subscription. It's more if you happen to have Netflix, then Netflix gives you free full access to Sonic Mania Plus. With no ads, unlike Sonic 1, 2, and CD on mobile. There's no additional purchase required, and once again, this is Sonic freaking Mania Plus on mobile. It's the full game, officially on your phone, and that's more than I can say for Sonic 3 and Knuckles. This is, all things considered, pretty amazing. And for 244 megabytes no less. I mean, Sonic 4 Episode 2 is almost 4 times the file size. But I get it. Even if most people have access to Netflix, there's still people who don't, and to that I say, if you want to play Sonic Mania, why on earth does your primary method of playing it have to be on a mobile device through a streaming service? It's on every other currently supported gaming platform there is, plus stacks of unofficially supported platforms through Homebrew. So, instead of wasting my time and your own complaining about Netflix, just go and play Sonic Mania on anything from your Nintendo Switch to your computer, and if you want to be wild, even a Sega Dreamcast. Stay tuned, and stay awesome, lovely people. Oh, and I promise I'll make a Sonic Superstars video eventually, I just haven't finished playing it. Somehow I keep forgetting it exists. Good night!